Hi, welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's your girl, owner of 8-Bit Bunny. Just call me Bunny. And today we are going to be making my bestseller. Today we're going to make these little cinnamon roll boxes. And this is my peach pink variant. It's kind of like a white peach type of color scheme. I like it. It's really pretty. It's really angelic, and yeah. So I might be freestyling here a little bit, but mainly the materials that you need is some type of pigment to color your cinnamon roll with. A makeup brush. I have this Scoopy ultralight air dry clay. I have my tiles, which I'm gonna use to like color and bake my cinnamon roll top on. I have liquid Sculpey. I have my cinnamon roll mold that I actually got off of Amazon. Eventually I would love to make this like with like a glass jar or something, and then like have it like screw on and stuff so you have like more room on the inside, but for now it's cute. It's super realistic, super rustic looking. Yeah. So the easy part is, first you want to clean your mold out with a baby wipe. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Should get all that stuff up out of there. Cause this mold is I just moved recently, so a lot of my stuff is collecting dust because I haven't been like as active in the art scene as I used to be in my old apartment, but we're getting there. So that's all cleaned out. So first we are going to get our clay out and condition it. I do also want to wipe my hands with the baby wipe as well. And it's always nice to keep like a microfiber towel as well, just to collect dust off your hands. Move this out the way, you don't need it yet. So I have this much clay, and then I'm just gonna condition it a little bit just to get a little bit more pliable. This clay does tend to break off, like if it's not like conditioned. It can get like real crumbly, so make sure you condition it. And then if you're in a hot house like I am, something I like to do is once I've finished like filling the mold, I would put it in the freezer for a few minutes just so it'll harden enough that we can take it out and it'll keep its shape. So right now I'm just starting to fill the mold, and I'm pressing the clay up against the insides. I'm not filling the mold all the way. I'll probably say like maybe halfway is a good point for the top of the cinnamon roll. So yeah, it's probably like halfway. I don't fill it all the way up. And then to smooth out some of the handprints on the inside, I'll get like a baby wipe and just start smoothing out the inside of the mold. The good thing is the person purchased the pink one, so that one is definitely ready to ship. Don't gotta worry about prepping a new one for that order. But I like to have at least one in stock just in case like somebody wanna know what it look like and stuff like that. So right now I'm trying to just like using the mold to like force the edges down a little bit, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it kind of like naturally rounds them out. So I'm gonna go put this in the freezer for a few minutes, and we will continue. So now I'm just prepping for when I take my mold out of the freezer. So basically, I use the mold to make the base of the cinnamon roll. It's so unorthodox, but like if I had containers or something to make this like more consistent, I feel like it would be easier in the process. So basically I'm gonna use the mold to make the base of the cinnamon roll. And to do that, what I did the first time, I just had like a piece of cardboard that I cut out into like a, I guess, a rough circle of the cinnamon roll, and then I placed that cardboard at the bottom of the mold while I like formed the walls of the cinnamon roll. Very unorthodox, but it worked. So I'm gonna do that again, because if it ain't broken, don't fix it, you know? So yeah, I think I'm gonna cover this in tape just so the clay doesn't stick to, I'm hoping the clay doesn't stick to it, because this is like a really, like the lightweight clay is like super lightweight. Like the hotter this stuff gets, like the stickier it gets, which is why I like to refrigerate it. So I'm trying to hope that this is a surface it's not gonna just naturally stick to, so then that way it'll come off easier. Because if anything porous like paper, it'll stick to. Thankfully they ordered pink, and I have a pink one ready to ship, so that'll just cut down on my shipping time, which is great. When I get more orders, like I think I'll start like making stuff in bulk, but for now, since I don't get that many orders, I like to just make them as the orders come in, or at least make like 3, so that way I don't waste product, you know, clay on products that nobody are buying. At least for my cinnamon roll, I know I can sell like at least one every 2 months or something, so it's not like a complete waste. So okay, so that's pretty much prepped for our mold. Hopefully it's strong enough. I used cardboard last time, it's a little flimsy, but we'll just have to see when we get the mold out of the freezer. Okay, so I'm back, and this is out of the freezer. You don't have to leave it in the freezer that long. Probably just like 10 minutes, just enough for it to harden enough to release from the mold without completely messing it up. So I probably should have made my wall sticker. So yeah, this is what I mean. Like I'm gonna basically just put this at the bottom. I have to trim it a little bit. So I'm basically gonna use this as the bottom, and then I'll use these to make the walls and the inside of the cinnamon roll. Trimming it so it fits better. Yeah, that works. So now we get to do my favorite part, which is the coloring part. Yes, yes, yes. So I have my little palette here, and I'm gonna try not to get pinks on my brush, but you kind of just start coloring it in. I might go get my other makeup palette so we could get some yellows in there. Eventually I want to get some pan pastels or whatever, but Right now, my little makeup brushes, palettes, they do fine. They do good enough. And you really don't have to be that harsh. A gentle hand definitely helps a lot. So I'll just get the size with a little bit of yellow on the edges, and then I'll like darken them as I get towards the center. It's so funny, I have an actual cinnamon roll in my refrigerator from work. I might pull it out. So then I'm gonna take the brown color around the top, give it a real toasted bun look. I like this because you can have really realistic looking bright textures. Okay, and flexible. Yeah, that's how I make walls a little bit thicker, just like hope they shape a little bit better. Okay. And then for the next step, we're gonna get some of this liquid Sculpey. And if you have a different container to put it in, that's great. I might end up using this instead, because I want to use this for the base of my cinnamon roll. And then just want to do some of that brown foundation color and scrape it in to so we kind of make it like the little cinnamon filling out of, I probably should use this. I feel like it's gonna get absorbed into the freaking paper. But alas, we are here. It's kind of like oobleck. What is that? Whatever it's called, like the little cornstarch water mixture. It kind of has that consistency. Like when you're moving it, it keeps its shape, but when you let it go, like it kind of like turns back into a liquid. It's really interesting. Okay, so now we're just gonna start dragging the chocolate color like on the creases. And there's no particular way to do this. You can kind of be as neat or as sloppy as you want to be honest. Because food isn't perfect, so food art doesn't have to be perfect either. I feel like the more mistakes you make, the more realistic it looks. Alright, so I switched up my tool. I have my silicone little sculpting tool now, and I'm also on top of the ceramic tile. It's just that the cardboard was absorbing all the moisture, which made it really, really hard to work with. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah, porous and clay just doesn't go together because the clay just like to stick to anything porous. So almost done here. Just drizzling the cinnamon filling just down the cinnamon roll. So I get my baby wipe and wipe off my tool. So get my baby wipe and wipe off this ceramic tile. That's the good thing about ceramics, so easy to clean. I totally had to fold and turn on my air conditioning because it's way too hot. So now we're gonna do the white part, the icing. It's also fairly simple. So I just take a little bit more of my little Sculpey liquid Sculpey. Then I'm just gonna start mixing it with the air dry clay itself. So you kind of get like a little chunky icing type vibe. And I like doing it this way because I kind of have like more control over where it goes. And then because of the clay chunks in it, it's not gonna be like completely transparent. So it kind of looks more like icing. And I just start putting it in the middle. Okay, so that's pretty cute. Okay, so now we're gonna start filling in the bottom of the mold. Trying to see how much clay I'm gonna need. I haven't done this in a while. Okay. So we're gonna put the clay into the mold. Then we're gonna just start spreading it around the edges. So I'm just like pushing it against the walls and like letting the clay come up. Like the good thing about this clay is that it's pretty durable, even though it's the walls aren't that thick, but they're pretty strong. So I'm just kind of like hollowing out the inside, and I'm gonna use my baby wipe to kind of like flatten it out to give like a little inside divot. I need a fresh baby wipe. I really don't feel like getting up. It's so hot. And then for the top, I'm just gonna trim the excess clay off the top. So we're kind of making like a bowl shape for the cinnamon roll. And I'll make sure the walls aren't too thin on this side. So I'm gonna just add some more clay up in there. The inside doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to be at least somewhat smooth so it could be appealing. And then we're gonna put this in the freezer as well, but for this one we want to leave it up in the freezer for a good decent amount of time because we want the walls to basically like keep their shape. So we're gonna leave it in the freezer for longer. I'd probably say 30 minutes, probably. I would say an hour, but I'm not even willing to wait an hour. But if you're willing to wait an hour, that's great. I'm back. It's been like 3 hours. I've had this thing freezing a lot longer than I should have, but hopefully it'll pop right out the mold without any problems. There we go. So yeah, I like freezing it because it just makes it easier to get it out the mold. That's gonna be the challenging part. It's kind of sunken in, but it's coming out for the most part. Nice. So now we have the base of our cinnamon roll, and I want to see if the top will come off of this tile because I froze this too, but it's kind of stuck. I took so long, the sun going down and everything. So I'm just using my ruler to slide underneath it and detach it from the tile because I do want to do like a fit check just to make sure that the top will fit the bottom. The top is super thin. Have to be careful because it's literally thawing out as we speak. So I don't want it completely fat. I want it to kind of remain circular. The good thing about the silicone is that it can go into the oven. I just do it this way because I still have to color the bottom of the cinnamon roll. So I'm gonna start doing that now. I have so much stuff on my desk now. I started like some projects on the side. So I'm getting just this yellow color inside of my palette, and I'm gonna start going around the edges as well as the inside of our cinnamon roll. And the nice thing about the tiles is that the clay automatically likes to stick to it, so you don't really have to worry about like lifting it and stuff like that. But if you do want to lift it, I would say the best time to do it is when it's fresh out of the freezer, because as this thaws, it will regain its stickiness. So right now I'm just trying to match up my browns. dusting on it so it can look more burnt, cooked, or baked. So I'm also gonna do the inside. I want to neglect inside because I want it to look like you kind of just open up a cinnamon roll. I wish I could bake these together and like have them not stick to each other, but that doesn't really seem possible, at least with this type of clay. I feel like it's kind of like foam. As soon as you touch something to it, it just want to stick real bad. Because even now, I'm probably gonna have to just do a light dusting on the bottom when it's done baking, because it's pretty much stuck to the tile. I love this technique because I feel like you get really nice bready looking art, especially with the molds. It kind of like takes on the texture of the mold already, so you don't really have to do much like with a toothbrush or anything like that. And then I'll just kind of do one more type of fitting just to kind of make sure it's close to what I would want it to be. And I'm doing a silicone instead of the tile because I feel like it was flattening a lot on the tile and I don't really want it flat. So the last little detail we're gonna do to our box itself is like sometimes I like to add like icing and stuff to the rim just to make it look like it's dripping from underneath. I feel like that's just a cute little detail. So I'm gonna do that really quickly while I still have sunlight. I don't like recording when it's like dark outside because it just doesn't look as good. And I got so sidetracked, I ended up making tacos and all kinds of stuff. Look. So I'm gonna do the same thing and just work this around the edges. I'm gonna like put like dollops just to make it look like it's dripping down. Just add some extra like little fun details to the cinnamon roll. And if you want to freeze it in a spot, you can put it back in the freezer before the drips get too low, but I don't mind either way. Still gonna be a cute effect. You could do this before the frosting. It's just like what is it called, mica powder, but I'm not gonna do it now because I already put the icing on it. But you can like pretty much mica anything. So I made this one out of air dry clay and I kind of put the mica powder, so it kind of has like a little shimmer to it. So that's an option. Finally, it's out of the oven and I just put it in for 275 for about like 20 minutes. The package say 15, but I always let it go a little bit longer. As long as you watch it and monitor it and make sure it don't get burnt, then it's usually fine. But yeah, this is the finished product and it's still kind of hot. But from here, I'll just like glaze it. This one I would use polyurethane on it to seal it in, give it like a little bit of shine, make it more durable. You can use resin, Mod Podge, really whatever you feel like it. Polyurethane I think is more waterproof in the long run, so that's just something to consider. I do like to dust it a little bit with some mica powder just to give it like a little shine. I just think that the glitter is so cute. So I'm gonna dust on some sparkles on the top just to give it a little shine. Final product. So hopefully you guys learned something, and thank you for watching my tutorial. And I hope that you go and make your own cinnamon roll boxes because they're honestly stinking adorable and I love them. All right, bye-bye for now.